Husband wants a break from my kids and excluded them from a family boat trip, leading to a fight and me refusing to pay for the boat. Now he's upset. I have 3 kids from my previous relationship, 10 to 13, and I have a 10-mo with my husband. I work from home managing my own business and pay half the bills. I also homeschool my 3 older kids because their school shut down a few months back after the roof collapsed during our last big snowstorm. I do all the cooking and at least 80% of chores. The kids do the rest. The only chore my husband has is garbage, laundry once a week and grocery shopping every other week. Since roughly December my husband has been incredibly depressed but won't manage it in a healthy way, despite me urging him to get help. He's just been isolating and defensive. He works from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Gets home around 4:30, eats dinner and hangs out with the kids for maybe a half hour. He then goes to the garage or his truck to decompress. He comes back inside around 8 p.m. to help me get the kids in bed. He then either jumps on his computer or watches YouTube on his phone until he goes to sleep. Pretty much every single weekend since March he has been going out with his buddies as well. So, typically, the only day he's actually home is Sunday and usually, either his buddies ask him for help with their vehicles or he runs his errands, going to the dump, fixing his vehicle, helping his mom, etc. So, realistically, my kids and I only have his attention for at most an hour a day, if that, even on his days off. Him and I have, unfortunately, gotten into at least 3 fights since December because of his lack of attentiveness and his constant excuse of I worked all day/week and need time to myself. It's truly just the lack of empathy that drives me insane, because I have 0 breaks, ever, but he still feels like he should be entitled to more and more breaks as the days go on. So, we have fought about it. I will bring it up calmly and he will get defensive and blow up and pull the repetitive I worked all fucking day talk. The last big fight we had, a couple weeks back, I told him I was leaving. I started packing. He begged me to stay and said he would try to be better and suggested we rent a boat for this past weekend, so we could all reconnect and have a nice family weekend. I ultimately forgave him because he showed a lot of effort after that. When he would get home from work, he was present. He didn't go out during the weekend with his buddies as he had been. We went on a few walks together, just us and the kids. Collectively we were still only getting to hang out with him for maybe 1.5 hours, but he was inside and more present, either way. I thought things were looking up. Well, he paid the down payment, half cost, of the boat 2 weeks ago when we discussed it and I was due to pay the other half upon picking the boat up this past Friday. However, he told me on Thursday night that he decided that he didn't want my older children to go. He asked me if I would have my mom watch my older children so it could just be me, him and the baby on the boat. I asked him why and he said because I need a break from the kids. So I was pissed and snapped back, "Oh, you mean you need a break from your stepkids? Your kid is fine but let's push my kids away because you need a break from them." He said I'm making a big deal out of nothing but I don't think I did. The kids knew about the trip and were excited. If I dropped my older kids off with my mother and still brought the baby out because my husband decided he needed a break from them, they would be extremely hurt. He kept saying we can bring them next time but I told him no thanks and said I wouldn't be paying the other half of the boat cost. He can either pay it and bring out his buddies or he can forfeit the money he put into it already, as it was non-refundable. I didn't end up paying and he lost $450. He is still pissed at me, stating that I made a mound out of a molehill but I don't think I did. He is hardly near my kids ever so him needing a break from them and not his kid is absolutely fucking wild to me. Ida? ETA, he was not like this before he got depressed. My older children's father passed away during deployment when I was pregnant with my 10-yo. I got together with my husband when my 10-yo was 1 and he was always a kick-ass father figure. He refused to do anything without me and the kids. Calls my kids his children. When he got depressed around Christmas time, everything changed. He will get better for a week or 2 and then go right back into the cycle. I have tried urging him to get help and he will be receptive momentarily and then switch back. He first stated that it was because he was terrified of being a shit father, his dad was abusive. Now the only excuse he uses is I worked all day/week and that he needs time to himself. He still to this day talks to his father, at least twice a week. He was not abused by his dad. His trauma is watching his mom and brother be abused.